What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And today we are speaking the language of Bromance. Shawn wanted to tell me something because he's super excited, even though we've already been talking for, 45 minutes. And you would have thought he could have said something up until how interested do you think people would be in the pre-show conversation?
I've always wondered that. But then we talk about so many things that might get us in trouble. We're like, so Richard, how do you feel about
gingers?
Well, I don't know. I like ginger beer. You sick son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Ginger beer is good though.
Apparently in the Batman comics, the entire time Bruce Wayne was drinking champagne, he was actually drinking ginger ale.
Oh,
and
really?
And then Alfred was giving him ginger. Alfred was the one giving him ginger ale. Because he didn't want to drink champagne.
Champagne is so strong.
Because he's Batman. He wants to stay sharp. I rewatched The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, yeah. Part
1 and 2 on HBO Max. That's good.
Yeah. I need to go back and watch them because I still hate those movies.
The Dark Knight. No, not the live action. The animated ones. Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Those are good. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the Nolan trilogy.
The animated ones where Batman's old.
Yeah, those are good.
And he fights Superman, and that's what Batman v Superman should have been.
And Green Arrow tries to shoot him with a kryptonite arrow.
Whoa, spoilers.
Well, I didn't talk about how Green Arrow was missing an arm or an eye or something from
damn
Superman.
it.
Well, they don't even tell you about that in that movie. You just see him and he's missing stuff. You're like, what the fuck? What happened?
Yeah, you're like, where the fuck did his arm go?
Like Superman. Really? Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you, you know why that movie's good? Or do you know why I like that movie so much? Stuff like that. They just put these things in there and there's no they don't give you any context. Because they're like, look, you're watching a fucking animated DC movie and you're a grown adult. Fair to say you probably know what's going on. When Batman just says Clark, you know who the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into detail. When Superman's talking about, Diana went back to her people and Hal left Earth, you know who the fuck he's talking about. He just says it in passing and they don't explain it, and I like that.
Well, and all that stuff too, the thing with Green Arrow, that actually happened in a different set of comics, right?
I don't know about the comics. I do remember that it happened in the Dark Knight Returns comic, because that was who did that? Frank Miller did those.
Yeah, Frank Miller. But it's just kind of with those big expanded universes, stuff happens in other comics. Where you're like, oh, okay, so the Joker, I guess recently, it's been 15 years. He had his face cut off. And he had it all stretched over his face, but that wasn't from the Batman comics. That happened in a different set of comics. But it came back into the Batman universe.
Yeah.
And so it's just that. This whole thing with Batman and Green Arrow happened somewhere else, but it's still in this continuation of this universe.
Yeah,
I like that stuff.
And okay, and you're talking about Oliver. So in Dark Knight Returns Part 2, Bruce and Oliver are sitting there, and they're talking about Bruce is talking about how Oliver just recently broke out of jail and he's a man on the run or whatever. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I know you guys got a plan. It's just I know you've got a plan, but I just want to help because I want a piece of the schoolboy. And he says it and you know exactly who the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah. I really would was it the DC? What's the one where Superman goes crazy?
Red Sun?
No, it's based off the video game, but there's a set of comics on it too. Where you basically get to play as DC characters in a Mortal Kombat, one-on-one fighting.
Oh, Injustice. They did make comics about those, I thought.
Yeah, there's comics, but that's one I'd be cool to see in a movie or an animated movie.
Oh, I gotcha. Oh, actually, no, wait. I was trying to think if they did that or not.
They might have. I haven't seen or heard of it though, but so Richard, so we'll let people know that's kind of our pre-talk type stuff.
Yeah,
so
that is.
People that, we'll start making 2-hour episodes. But what I want to talk about, Richard, so maybe 10 episodes ago, you found a story about a cat that essentially helped win and save a bunch of guys in World War II named Simon.
Yes, Simon the cat.
And
he was on a ship that had crashed. It took a bunch of fire and it crashed, and then the cat stayed on the ship and he helped keep up morale, and he killed rats so that way the injured people didn't get like, bad infections and shit.
Yeah, get gnawed on by rats.
Yeah.
And like his trick was taking ice cubes out of a bowl, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is so great. War is hell."
Right? They're like, "I need this. I need a win."
And when you started telling that story, it's like, "Oh, I had that exact story saved up." Yeah. And as I was going through and looking through stories and was getting ready to throw this away, I was like, "Oh yeah, we did this Unsinkable. Wait, no, we did Simon. This story, Richard, is about one Unsinkable Sam."
So wait a minute, is this another cat?
This is a completely different cat. So this cat,
oh my god. I have 2 cats, and I'm not going to lie. I don't like them very much. Like, I'm just not a fan.
I like my cat, but they are definitely like a-holes.
You're right.
Like, dogs can kind of F off. Like, you can tell them to F off. Like, cats, if they're like, "Hey, I'm going to headbutt you in this very important part of this game."
Yeah.
Headbutt. Or like, "Hey, are you sleeping? I'm going to jump on the side of the couch." Or I'm going to lay here in a weird spot where you can't see me and lean against the door and make it creak so you wake up in the middle of the night and think it's ghosts.
Like, not hey, what time is it? 2 o'clock? Okay. 2 a.m.? Okay.
Oh, it's 222? Oh, God, it's the mark of the beast.
Yep. Time to make you suffer for this bell you put around my neck.
Yeah.
This is your punishment.
I fucking hate you. I'm going to eat your eyes when you die.
Yep. That's their last little, like, from hell's heart, I stab at thee.
Yeah. And cats too, like mine's declawed in the front, so she'll like run out of the house. And like you can't leave her out there because if she gets in a fight, she'll probably lose. So she waits for the last minute.
I don't know, man. Poof. I had a cat that was declawed, the front claws, and I think it was declawed, like we didn't do it was declawed when we got it. But occasionally that cat would get out, and then that cat would bring home shit.
Oh, nice.
Like that cat would kill stuff and bring it home.
They learn how to use the back claws to bite, and they do the back claw with their thing.
Yeah, they do that like little flying like Liu Kang forward leap.
Yeah. Cats are like evil.
Whoop-ah!
Although I love my cat. She is pretty good. I've had her for like 15 years.
Are you saying that because the cat's in the room?
No.
Shawn, blink twice. Blink twice if you're in danger.
I'll bring the catnip to distract her.
Yeah.
So Unsinkable Sam, Richard, was also known as Oscar. And according to the story here, the nickname of the ship cat was reportedly served during World War II with both the Kriegsmarine, I guess that's the German Marine, and the Royal Navy. Richard,
whoa, wait a minute. You're telling me this cat played both sides?
This cat started out as a Nazi cat, Richard.
Oh, shit. Nazi cats are not, nope.
Fighting for the Fuhrer.
I'm not big on Nazi cats. Because Nazis were like, had this weird thing with animals where like their animal, not only did Nazis feel that their people were superior to other people, they felt like their animals were superior to other animals. Do you remember way back? Like one of the first, it's probably in the first like 20 episodes we did. We talked about,
the heck
cows? A Nazi. Yes, it was a Nazi cow. There was literally a Nazi cow, and it was called the heck cow.
It was like super mean and aggressive.
It was apparently it was like super huge and really pissed off.
So I wonder if this cat was the same way. But you say like people like the Nazis are like, "Oh, our pets are far superior." Like, I think all people think that about their pets. It's kind of like their kids. Like, "Oh, my kid's totally the best," even though it's like, yeah, little Timmy's not, playing with a full deck.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of chewing on glue right now. Yeah, but it's non-toxic glue.
That's fine.
That looks like Gorilla Glue to me.
Timmy's getting the job with his name on his shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Ouch. Hey.
I mean, truth hurts.
Oh, you can make some good money when you got your name on your shirt.
That's true. Like a plumber?
Yeah, they make good money. Especially when you start running your own business and you hire other plumbers and you sit like a fat cat on your royal toilet.
Timmy's going to be rocking a fucking 12-bedroom house.
Yeah, he's like,
well, I'm slumming it.
Yeah, you make fun of me. I got my name on my shirt, but even though I drink glue.
You know what I do all day? I sit on my couch and eat paste. Fuck you.
I haven't had a bowel movement in 18 months. And I'm a plumber. Isn't it ironic?
And that's on purpose.
But Oscar, Richard, so the name Oscar was given by the crew of the British destroyer, the HMS Cossack, Cossack, that rescued him from the sea following the sinking of the German battleship Bismarck. So, Richard.
This cat was on the Bismarck?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know much about the Bismarck.
The Bismarck was like Germany's, like, okay, again, I mean, not to, I feel like I'm being super stereotypical on the Nazis, but fuck them, they're Nazis. Anyway, but like, I don't know why, but it seemed like they always had to do everything like 4 times as big. Like, they build, we build little planes that fly, and they're like, oh, look at that little plane flying through the air. Germans are like, we're gonna build the fucking Hindenburg, and it's gonna be a blimp that's 4 times the size of anything ever created by man. It's gonna be visible from space. That's how big we want to make it. So then, people are like, hey, let's make little boats. And the little boats like toot toot, and they go across the sea, and they, deliver mail, and they fix they fix ships, and they're nice. And then the Germans are like, fuck that, we're gonna build the Bismarck, and it's this giant ass fucking boat. Titanic, more like fuck you. You are not shit. Because we have the fucking Bismarck. Oh my God, and we're going to put 80 gajillion guns on it, and we're going to be able to destroy a small moon. It's like the Death Star, but it floats. You'll
get that reference in like 55 years. It's kind of like, so I wonder if it's like, so at game day this past weekend, right as I was getting out of my truck, this guy who had a super like red extended lifted truck, like exaggerated lifted.
Yeah.
Like 20 feet in the air, and like you drive by and you're like, hey, sorry about your pecker size, dude.
Like I never understood. So you're saying that, wait a minute, so what you're implying is that the guys that put giant lifts on their truck are the Germans of trucks?
I think so, yeah,
because they're like, we have to do it bigger and better than everything else, and then it's going to eventually, like, crumble into a heap of nothingness.
Yeah, because it's Richard. They want to feel superior because they really
are inferior.
Oh,
okay.
See, Richard, if you just sit some people on couches and talked it through, like, you could avoid all kinds of catastrophic events.
So the Bismarck is 823 feet long.
Is that big?
I mean, that's pretty fucking big. 800 feet long? That's big.
What's that compared to other ships, though? Do you know that?
You would ask me that.
It's like the truck example, like, a lift.
It holds over 2,000 people.
That's a lot. So on this ship, Richard,
so it's Bismarck, like a cruise ship with 80 gajillion guns.
Nice. Okay, so the Bismarck. So at this time, his name, I guess we don't really know what his name was, because the British crew that found him named him Oscar. But the black and white patched cat was supposedly owned by an unknown crew member of the German battleship, the Bismarck.
Okay.
And was on the ship on May 18th, 1941, when she set sail on Operation Rheinbung. Rheinubung. Rheinbung.
Okay.
Rheinbung. Bismarck's only mission. So the Bismarck was sunk after a fierce sea battle on the 27th of May.
Yeah.
From which only 150 of her crew of over 2,100 survived. So most of the people died. Probably sharks.
You think so?
It was probably the explosions and the sinking ship.
I mean, there was the exploding and the giant cannons firing on it, but I mean, sharks, right?
So you have this German cat on this Nazi ship that blows up, right?
Yeah.
And hours later is found floating by the British destroyer, the HMS Cossack.
Okay.
Unaware of what his name was, the crew named him Oscar, which I guess is derived from the International Code of Signals for the letter O, which is code for man overboard. The German spelling Oscar was sometimes used since it was a German cat.
Okay. So instead of, like, hey, look at that Oscar. What? There's a man overboard. No, it's a cat.
It's a cat. Yeah.
Why'd you say Oscar? God damn it.
I wish the problem is probably his owner died. So we don't get to know, like, maybe this cat was like, the Führer's cat. Like, this is Hitler's cat. He's like, I want my cat Oscar on the Bismarck. To fight the British?
Oh my God, what if it was Hitler's cat?
I mean, if you look at the picture of this cat, it looks freaky as shit.
See? You know why? Because it's a Nazi cat.
Yeah. Do you think it's, if you didn't know it was a Nazi cat, though, would you look at it the same way? I feel like you put Nazi in front of anything, and you're kind of like, yeah,
that's true.
Creepy.
But I agree with you, but I feel it's also deserved.
Yes, for sure. But like, if you're like, oh, look at that cheesecake, like, yeah, it looks weird, but I'd eat it. Like, no, it's a Nazi cheesecake.
It's a Nazi cheesecake. Oh, fuck.
And you turn it like,
that's a good point.
That was a swastika.
Why don't they call it Nazi chocolate cake?
Well, it's not even like originating from Germany.
No, I know. Wasn't the guy's name was German, right? Like his actual last name was German. The guy that made German chocolate cake.
Yeah, and if he developed it during this time, it's like, why don't you call it Nazi German or Nazi cake?
Yeah, and then he just punches him in the face.
Fucker,
my name's German. That's not why it's called that.
I call it John cake, but there's too many goddamn
from Queens, you son of a bitch.
You want me to call it Queen's cake?
Then you'll think it's British.
Yeah, nobody will eat it because the British food sucks.
Yeah. Fig Newtons. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, putting beans on your eggs.
Nonsense. Kind of hodgepodge, fucking crazy bullshit, limey ass fucking bullshit is this?
Hello, Governor. Want some tea?
Yeah.
No.
Want some beans on your eggs? No.
I want coffee.
I want a Queen's cake.
So, Simon, who's going by Oscar at this point, was on the Bismarck and rescued. And now they decided, since they rescued him, the Cossack, that he's going to serve on the Cossack.
Okay. Is it Cossack or Cossack?
It's Cossack. They don't give me a pronunciation.
I want to say it's Cossack, but Cossack is a Russian thing, and this is a British ship.
Let me look, because I thought I read somewhere in here that it had something to do with. So the HMS Cossack was a tribal class destroyer named after the Cossack people of the Russian and Ukrainian steppe.
Oh, okay, so it's Cossack.
Yeah, so she became famous for the boarding of the German supply ship Altmark in the Norwegian waters, and associated rescue of sailors originally captured by the Admiral Graf Spee. She was torpedoed by a U-563 on October 23rd and sank 4 days later.
Oh, shit.
So, like, we're talking about Simon, and he has been on one ship that sank. Now he's on a second ship, Richard.
Yep.
That sank on the 24th of October. So the cat served on board the Cossack for the next few months as the ship carried out convoy escort duties in the Mediterranean Sea and the North Atlantic Ocean.
Oh my God, what if this ship sinks too? Then it's going to be the cat's fault. You know why? It should. You know why? Nazi cat.
That's true. It's a cursed cat. Like, it's
so whenever people are like, oh, what sank the Bismarck? You can say it was a fucking Nazi cat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at first, if you picked it up, you're like, oh, this cat's lucky. It's been in the water. It survived. It get eaten by sharks. And it was on the Nazi ship that we destroyed. Yeah, come on board. You're a British cat now.
Spoils of war.
You know what's kind of weird, though? So, like, you think, like, animals will, like, bring on a Nazi cat, be like, oh, we'll keep you around. But if some Nazi was, like, floating in the water.
No, they'd shoot him.
Yeah.
That's a good... I just had that exact same thought. Like, imagine, like, you're floating along in the sea, and you just, like, had this big naval battle, and you're like, oh, my God, there's a cat on that fucking door there. Oh, my God, what if the cat... Wait a minute. What... Okay, consider this. What if there were two cats, right? And one cat was on the door, and the other cat was like, no, it's okay, there's no room. And the other cat was hanging on the side of the door.
I thought maybe, like you said, there's going to be two. You weren't doing a Titanic thing. You're saying that there's two cats, and the British pull up, and they're like, oh, look at these cats. They must be Nazi cats. All right, come on, guys, you can be British now. And then one just goes, no, and does, like, the Nazi salute, and they go, bang.
Yeah.
Hey, other cat.
It like licks it like breaks a tooth off, and then it turns out that there's a cyanide pill underneath, and the cat eats it.
Goes belly up, and the other cat's like, I didn't even like Germany. Beans on eggs, I'll eat it. Queen's
cake. The Queen. I like Mickey Mouse. Disneyland.
Fuck Hitler.
Steamboat Willie.
Let's see. So on October,
but you're right. They're floating along, and they're like, "Oh my god, look at that cat! It's so cute." And then they bring the cat on, and then there's a German guy that's like, "Wait, what about me?" Bang.
Well, what if like he's like holding the cat up while he's like trying to tread water?
They grab the cat.
He's like, "No, please take my cat, Oscar."
Yeah,
no,
they scoop him up like the Lion King.
Yeah, then they're like, "Hey, we found another."
Me?
No, they're like, "Hey, we found another dead body." He's like, "No, wait, bang." So on October 24th, 1941, the Cossack was escorting a convoy from Gibraltar to Great Britain when she was severely damaged by a torpedo fired by a German submarine. Richard, you know what this was?
They want their cat back.
They want their fucking cat back. Hitler's like, he's like getting the reports like,
where's my little Oscar?
It's like, so give me a report.
Yeah, it's like that scene. It's like that scene that you always see from I fucking can't remember what movie it is, but they're all in the bunker and fucking Hitler's like losing his shit and he's like pounding on the fucking table, and like all the officers are like looking at each other like, do you want to tell him? I don't want to tell him. Do you want to tell him? And so like you just have that scene, and then Hitler's like, where's my fucking cat? And all the officers are like,
Well, so this is what I'm playing out in my head. So it's that scene, but they come in, he's feeling good. He's like, okay, so give me yours. You give me some reports. And they're like, sir, we have some news on these Bismarck. He's like, the Bismarck. We sent my cat Oscar on this Bismarck, and but all the men are so happy and killing so many of those British bastards. And I bet Oscar's just dancing around because he's a
fuck Churchill.
He's a very, Führer cat, if you get my jokes.
Yeah.
Everybody laughs.
Oscar will claw Winston Churchill's eyes out, little bastard.
Those English bulldogs will have nothing on my cat, Oscar.
It's so cute. And he plays with Jan.
Like, so no, the bad news is the Bismarck has sank. Sank? Bang! Kills that guy.
So where's the cat?
We think he's been taken. He calls the Queen. Queen Elizabeth?
Now it's personal.
Yeah, I have a specific set of, it's not skills, but underwater vehicles that I'm sending, and I will destroy every boat until I get my cat.
Yeah.
And he finds the Cossack,
and then we
Richard.
can go play in the field.
I said, well, it's a Queen's cake. So on October 24th, 1941, it was damaged by a torpedo fired by a German submarine U-563. The crew was transferred to...
Was that a movie?
U-563? That sounds familiar.
U-571 was the movie.
Was that a German sub?
I don't fucking know. I think. Maybe.
Was that the one that sank to the bottom of the ocean? And they had to, live in there for years?
Did that happen?
There's I have to find it. There's a movie about, I think it's the Civil War era. Maybe it's not. But it's basically like the very first submarines, and these guys take the submarine and they go underwater with it, and they try to figure out how long they can survive in the submarine submerged without because there's no oxygen tanks. I think it's based in the Civil War era.
Oh fuck.
Maybe World War I.
That sounds horrible.
And so it's basically they try to hold out for as long as they can, and at the last moment they try to get back to the surface to get air. And I think they end up getting sunk in that situation where they couldn't get out, and they essentially suffocated.
Yeah.
That would suck.
What do you do at that point? At the last possible moment, do you just open the hatch and you're just like, fuck it?
I don't know. Either way
see, I feel like if you do that, let's say last possible moment, you're like, fuck this. And you open the hatch. I feel like you're going to get you open the hatch and then the water rushes in, and then just the pressure just crushes you like a Chef Boyardee can.
I don't know. I bet either way, it's a horrible death. Like I'm semi-claustrophobic, like stuff like that when I can't get out. And that I'm like getting a little bit freaked out by that. Just the thought, like if you're stuck at the bottom of the ocean in a sub that can't go anywhere, it's like, well, you can't swim out because it's too far.
Well, not just that. Like I said, there's a water pressure is going to kill you.
Yeah. Ugh. No thanks.
Like you will literally be crushed by just the weight of the ocean.
Yeah. I don't know where this one was. I need to find that movie because it was like really weird. It basically instilled in me that I don't want to work in a submarine. So the crew here was transferred to the HMS Legion. An attempt was made to tow the badly listing Cossack back to Galbatar. However, worsening weather conditions meant the task became impossible and had to be abandoned. So on October 27th, a day after the tow was slipped, the Cossack sank to the west of Galabar. The initial explosion had blown off 1/3 of the forward section of the ship, killing 159 of the crew. But Oscar survived this too and was brought to the shore establishment. He was brought to the shore of Galbatar.
Okay.
So, ship sinks, and I guess they kept the cat on there. Like, fuck it, it's our German cat. Leave it on here.
Yeah.
There's no room on this ship.
Yeah, somebody's like, throw a door out and see if it'll land on it.
Throw it straight up and see if it lands on all 4 paws. That's what I heard German cats do because they're so furier.
All right.
So, at this point, Unsinkable, the Oscar is what he's going by. They had to change its name because, like we said, they kept going, Oscar's like, man overboard. No. No, so now nicknamed Unsinkable Sam, the cat was soon transferred to the aircraft carrier, the HMS Ark Royal.
Oh, damn. Cat got a promotion.
Yeah, so, like, honestly, like, you see this cat, right? It's been on a German ship that sank. It's been on a British ship that sank. For some reason, people think it's a good idea to put it on like a big aircraft carrier.
There wasn't there a lady named like Unsinkable Molly?
Yeah, I've got her pulled up. We've talked about her before, and I think she's got some like very strange back history, like her husband's die.
And then at one point she bought a cat, and then you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, maybe this cat did live with her. Let's see about this. So the HMS Ark Royal is an aircraft carrier of the Royal Navy and served during the Second World War. Was designed in 1934 to fit the restrictions of the Washington Naval Treaty.
Okay.
So, I mean, again, big ship, lots of planes, very important during World War II. So, with Unsinkable Sam is now named on the HMS Ark Royal, which coincidentally had been instrumental in the destruction of the Bismarck. So, Richard, it's kind of a coming around of stories, right?
What if it's a fucking revenge story? No, think about this. What if the cat, so Nazi cat is on the ship, right? And then the ship sinks, like Nazi cat's on the Bismarck. Bismarck sinks. As the ship is sinking, the fucking cat's on the door and sees this giant aircraft carrier in the distance, and the cat stands up and is like, revenge. Well, and so then the cat gets picked up by a ship, works its fucking wily cat magic, its fucking devil voodoo cat magic, and then it gets that ship in trouble, and then something happens. And then that cat gets transferred to the very ship that sank the ship that it was originally on. And it's like, now my plan shall come to fruition. What if it's a fucking supervillain cat, Shawn?
Well, I mean, it's a Nazi cat, so odds are, yes, it is. Because, you think about it, like its owner died, so it wants revenge for its owner, and it's sitting there, it's like, I will give up 8 of my cat's lives to get you, Ark Royal.
I'm picturing it like the cat has a monocle.
Yeah. It does have like a little white Hitler mustache,
and
too.
For some reason, the top of it's bald.
Yeah, I could see that. It's missing its tail.
And it constantly wrings its paws. Yeah,
it licks its paws, constantly licking them and putting its face.
Soon, I shall have my vengeance. Revenge is a dish best served in a bowl with milk.
I feel like this would be like a propaganda Disney movie in the 40s, 30s, and 40s.
Fucking evil cat. And then what do the Americans have? Americans have dogs.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about like that. Are you like? I feel like I'm more of a cat person because like they are kind of pains in the ass when they like headbutt you and like wake you up. The dogs take a lot more work.
You know what? I actually used to be a 100% cat person. I was not a fan of dogs until I got this dog and these cats, and now my position has completely reversed.
Well, you got like the cats from off the street though, right?
Yes.
And we talked about this before. Your cats probably have murdered somebody.
Probably.
And
in fact, I'm willing to bet. Well, the first one we got, I'm fairly certain like hit a body somewhere. The other one I don't think is very like functional as a cat. Like the other one, I think like, I don't know, something like is fucked up in its head where it doesn't know how to cat.
Do you have the pinky in the brain of the cats?
I think, you know what? I think I might, because one cat's like the evil fucking genius, and the other cat like just seems like stupid to me.
I love the idea.
Like the other cat doesn't go outside at all. Has absolutely zero interest to go outside. Shawn, I haven't spayed the other cat. Like
Are
the other
males
cats
or females?
They're both females. But I never spayed the second cat because the second cat has never had any desire to go outside. It's fucking terrified of the outside.
It's probably had a bad experience because you picked it up as a kitten, didn't you?
As a kitten, yes. As a very, very young kitten. But think about this, Shawn. Like that cat never, has never known the touch of a man cat.
That's probably a good thing, Richard. That's a good thing though, because have you ever seen cats mate? It's not romantic.
No,
it's
not
Lady
violent.
The Tramp. It's
violent and painful.
Like my
from
cat,
what I understand.
My cat, I think, got out, and she is like fixed. And I'm pretty sure a cat tried to take advantage of her out there.
Yeah,
because she did not come back in a good mood.
She came back changed.
Yes.
And I'm saying, especially cats get in heat and, like all they want to do is like, I need to go outside. I need man cat dick, but not this one. Not this one. This one, I don't know if it's even ever been in heat. I think something's wrong with it, Shawn. I think something's like quasi dysfunctional.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think if you had the pinky in the brain of the cats, like if it was just the one cat, you'd be dead. But the other cat keeps messing up the plans every time.
One is a genius, the other's insane.
It's like, no, what we'll do is we'll put a bottle of water, he'll kick it over, and he'll electrocute himself while he's talking to that weird-looking guy on the other side. He thinks he's funny. He's not funny. He'll be dead, and then we'll eat his eyes.
I'll help you too, Kit Kat. Toss.
Did you put the water? Oh, I thought you just wanted a bottle. Why is there all these bottles, empty water bottles under my desk?
Curses.
Yeah, and the other cat's like, I want to go outside and get laid. The other cat's like, nope, not me.
What's that? That sounds terrifying.
It sounds so aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You always come back so angry, and then you get fat.
The cat acts like it wants food, and then I put food in the bowl. Doesn't eat it.
Then a cat thing, though.
Yeah.
Like the cat will meow and there's like food there, and so you dump a bunch in, they look at it, look at you, then jump down.
Yeah. And you're like, fuck you, cat. Especially
when it's like 12:30 in the morning. Or 12:30 at night, I guess. Like you're just like snuggling in bed, and you're like, you just hear, what the fuck?
Yeah. They're acting like, feed me, and then you feed them, and then they're like, nah, it's just fucking around.
What I used to do with my cat, she would wake up like early, like 6:30, and she'd be meowing. So I'd get up and she'd get all excited and run out of the room, shut the door behind her. Yeah. Hey, I love you, cat, but not at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Piss off.
All right. So, like we said, the HMS Ark Royale was instrumental in the destruction of the Bismarck. So we think this is a revenge tale.
Yep.
However,
this cat's coming back. It's like Taken, but with cats.
Yeah. So Sam was to find no more luck there, and when returning from Malta on November 14th, the HMS Ark Royal was torpedoed as well by a U-81.
Fuck, man.
What's a U-81? Is it like it's basically a sub too.
And there's an account of one of the crewmen that was like, I was running around below decks and everything was on fire. And there was the cat standing triumphantly like, revenge!
Just like digging at the hole.
My plan has come to fruition.
I still have 3 lives left, Ark Royale!
Yeah, from hell's heart I stab at thee! So
attempts were made to tow the Ark Royale to Gibraltar, but the unstoppable inflow of water made the task futile. The carrier rolled over and sank 30 miles. The slow rate at which the ship sank meant that all but one of the crew could be saved. So this only lost 1 crew.
Okay.
So the survivors, including Sam, who had been found clinging to a floating plank by a motor launch.
How much do you want to bet that the one guy that died was the guy that fired the shot that sank the Bismarck?
Oh yeah. Like, what happened? Did he drown? No, gunshot. Back to the head.
He committed suicide. He shot himself in the back of the head and threw himself overboard.
Oh, he's some like private who like just like came up like right at the last moment. That's his only thing.
Yep.
And Bismarck and Unsinkable Sam and him are like underneath the boat. Like, no, like him and Unsinkable Sam, like Sam like infiltrated him, like became his friend, slept in his bed.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, something's not right. Like when your back's turned, that cat like just stares daggers at you.
Yep.
Like, no, that's just because you think it's a Nazi cat. Get over it, man. It's just a cat. Like,
it's just a cat. Calm down.
Animals don't like have any allegiances, man.
Meanwhile, underneath the cat's fur is a Nazi tattoo.
And he's got a Nazi like pistol.
Yeah.
That's what happens. He shows up and he's like, oh my God, where's Sam? Where's Sam? He rushes down. Sam's like, I'm over here.
Yeah. It's like swirling a drink in one hand and one paw, and then is holding a German Luger in the other.
Benjamin, I'm glad you've made it.
Now my time has come, Benjamin.
Get on your knees, Benjamin. But why, Sam? Why?
Like the English pig you are. This is one evil cat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I like this. Like,
I'm sure that like at the end of the story, it's going to be, oh my God, this cat's a fucking war hero or whatever. But deep down, we know what that cat's about.
So he's got the pistol to Benjamin's head. He's like, why, Benjamin? Why? He pulls his fur up like, Omen style.
Yeah.
With just a Nazi symbol.
Yeah. It's a portrait of Adolf and it says BFF underneath.
Yeah, he's got the skull and bone things that they have too. Like, it basically looks like he's like all tatted up.
And smoking a pipe.
Yeah. And
with
then
its monocle.
Just here.
Yep.
And then he walks up. He just like rubs his leg on some guy that walks down. He's like, oh my God, Benjamin's been shot. Come with me, Sam.
We need to save his cat. He'd want that.
And Sam just looks at the camera and goes, yes, he would. Wink.
Ba, ba, ba.
So the survivors, including Sam, who was found clinging to a floating plank and described as angry but quite unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
They were transferred to the HMS Lightning and the same HMS Legion, which had rescued the crew of the Cossack. The Legion itself, Richard, would be sunk in 1942 and the Lightning in 1943.
Oh, see?
This cat,
you know what this cat is? This cat is a secret Nazi plot to destroy the British Navy. That's what it is. Oh my
God. Like, could you imagine like all the animals that they probably did this with? Like German
They're
shepherds.
Like, send in the special forces.
What if it's a long game? They started with the cats and they tried with German shepherds, but the war fell, by hand. So like, we'll send them to America and they'll get them in 300 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, Richard. Like, a lot of people like German shepherds. They kind of freak me out.
You know why? Because they're German shepherds.
Yeah.
Might as well call them Nazi shepherds.
It's like,
unless the guy that bred fucking German shepherds, his last name was German.
He's like, I'm from Louisville, you assholes. We can't call them Louis shepherds. Actually, no, I think they are from Germany because I think a lot of times they do get trained by like the German language.
Well, yeah, because I think like the German Shepherds, like they respond easier to like German commands, right? Like if you scream at them in German,
yeah, because it's super aggressive. Narschenheimer. And they're like, whoa. Is that a real German word? I don't know. Maybe.
You want me to say the dog? I'm sitting.
But see, my dog's an American Bulldog, so it's just like a redneck dog.
Yeah.
I was like, bite the nuts.
You're like, sit down, and then it fucking drafts an essay about, it'll sit down when it's goddamn good and ready.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
It goes on float trips. When somebody listens like, hey, you son of a bitch, I go on float trips. Yeah, I do too.
I was doing that fucking thing. Right? I have this picture in my head of this dog just like in an inner tube.
Floating.
Mm-hmm.
Cooler tugging behind it.
Yeah. With a fucking Skinner hat on. Smoking a Marlboro.
Skinner. Oh, man. Have you ever been on a float trip?
Who the fuck's sitting now, motherfucker?
Have you ever been on a float trip?
No.
They're fun. They are fun.
They are. I've seen people on them. And I know people that have gone on tons, and they're super fun. I will say that it is strictly a Midwest thing. Like if you went to any other part of the country and like said that you went on a float trip, people are like, "What the fuck are you talking? What the fuck is a float trip?"
I wonder if that's because like most other like rivers and stuff move too quick for a float trip. Because like people raft like in Colorado.
Yeah.
But here the water moves so slow that's like, well, we can't raft. Like we can raft, but we raft with beer because
but it's more just like we're in a rowboat, just like la 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 la.
It's really just a slow way to get from point A to point B and get drunk.
We don't have rapids.
Yeah, and the ones we do, we're like, whoa. And it's from Steve, who's standing on the boat trying to pee.
Yeah.
Some float trips get wild though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show him my boobies the whole time.
I knew it.
Yeah, I was like, woo, give me some past blue ribbon. Hey, you guys want to hear about a cat named Simon? Do you know why they call it the Queen's Cake?
I'll tell you about this Nazi cat. Everybody thought it was so nice, but I know the truth.
So the loss of the Ark Royale proved the end of Sam's shipborne career. He was transferred first
because it had done what it needed to do.
I feel like either that or somebody kind of knew, but it was like that unsaid type thing. Like, I know that you know that I know that you're a fucking Nazi cat.
Yep, it's like mission complete.
Ooh, what if he had dirt on whoever knew too? He's like, yeah, I saw what you were doing.
Yeah, it's like cats. Somebody's like, "Hey, you're a Nazi cat, and you're not gonna get away with this." And he's like, and then all of a sudden the cat starts talking, and it's like, "Oh yeah, well, what about these pictures? I don't think that's your wife." And then he's like, "Oh shit."
Well, yeah, he's like, "Well, I mean, it's wartime." He's like, "Yeah, but look at this." He's like, it's like, "Yeah, you're scraping the beans off your eggs, you son of a bitch. You're not really British.
You're not really British."
You know what they do to
British?
British?
It's true. I'm from Wales.
Fucking British. It's all one island. Get it. Just get it together.
Don't go over there and say that.
Oh, I know. I don't know. You'll
end up on a door in the fucking channel, and then hopefully a German boat comes by and saves you.
It's true, but they'd save the cat.
They would.
Finally, we got Simon. So he was first transferred.
What about me? I'm from Wales. Bang.
So he was transferred first to the offices of the governor of Gibraltar. So he's getting in political stuff now.
Oh, God.
So I think he's just trying to get like even deeper. But the problem is he's a cat and his lifespan isn't very long. So they sent him back to the United Kingdom, where he saw out the remainder of the war living in a seaman's home in Belfast called the Home for Sailors. Sam died in 1955, Richard.
Oh, so like way after the war's done.
Yeah, so
Sam got by and never saw the inside of the Hague. Was never tried for war crimes.
True. So they think he was born in 41 and he died in 55. So he's like 14 or 15 years old, which is pretty good for a cat.
That's not bad for a cat. I don't know what the cat life equivalent is, because the cat year equivalent is. Because like there's dog years and human years. I don't know what cat years and human years are.
The dog year thing they just changed too. So it used to be I think 7 years.
Yeah.
But what they've said now is like the first like 3 or 4 years is 7, and then it goes down to like 5 or 3 for every year after that.
Okay.
So like dogs age a lot quicker at first, but then they start teetering off. But I think like most cats live to be like, if they live inside, it's like 14 or 15 years. But I've seen in pictures of cats and stuff that live to be like 20 or 25.
Fuck.
And my cat's, like I said, my cat is 12.
It's on the way. That's just around the corner.
So, I mean, it's sad about this story, but like a sadder thing is in like 3 years, our house is going to suck. So my cat's going to be 15. We've got 2 little dogs. They'll be like 15. And then our big dog will be about 10.
What are you going to do?
Dude, it's going to suck.
That's like so much tragedy for your child.
Yeah, I know, right? Because he's going to be like 6 or 7.
Your child's going to grow up and be a supervillain at that point. Be like, everything I love dies.
He's got a little German in him, so he'll probably be like, now I need to make the ultimate cat that'll live forever.
And then he makes a zombie Nazi cat.
Yeah, he's going to go back and listen to episode 2 and be like, this is my call. He's like, no, my dad said it.
See, you hear about zombie bears, and when you think zombie bears, you think like, you know, it's something that's controlled by Nazis, right? You think it's like a bear with like, you know, Nazi symbols and everything, and it wears a little monocle and a fucking fez and whatever. But like, if I say Nazi zombie cats, the Nazi zombie cats seem autonomous. They seem like they're going to operate. They don't need somebody to tell them what to do.
Yeah, you get Pet Cemetery feel. It's kind of like the whole...
Exactly.
Would you rather fight, what is it, a duck-sized bear or 100 bear-sized ducks? Like there's some... I may not be saying it right.
One bear-sized duck sounds fucking terrifying.
That's true. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's not like... Maybe it'd be like, would you want to fight one... How the fuck does that go? It's basically something where it's like, do you want to fight a lot of small, violent things or one big, kind of confrontational thing?
Yeah, but it can't be ducks because I've seen ducks and they can get angry. They can be aggressive.
But like with the bear thing, like if you think like, oh, there's a Nazi zombie bear movie, I'm thinking I'm fighting like 1 or 2 bears, right?
Right.
With Nazi zombie cats, like thousands.
Oh, that's a good point. You're fighting like a horde.
Yeah, like you walk outside and just all of a sudden you see like one set of eyes start glowing, then another set, another set, another set.
Oh, yeah.
And then the sound,
you're right. And I feel like they're smarter.
Yeah, they'd be an intelligent zombie thing.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna, yeah.
Oh, because I mean that's all the bet. Like you're like, oh shit, I gotta run. You turn around, and one thump right on top of your car, right behind you.
See, it doesn't sound as terrifying. I'm like, oh, you know, Nazi cats. Like you hear that, and you're like, well, I mean, regardless of their terrible political ideology, like it's a cat. Like who the fuck cares? But see, I think that that's a gross and terrible underestimation of the horror that a cat can inflict upon your life.
Well, I mean, so cats, if you get bit, cat scratch fever, man. You get affected.
Yeah.
I mean, a dog bites you, and I don't think it's as bad. That's the other thing too about things. Like if a dog bites you, usually they put the dog down. If a cat bites you, like
they gotta catch it.
Cat's just a dick. And the cat's like, yes, I am.
Yeah. And then they got those fucking needle teeth.
Yeah, they do. I've got scars still from my cat.
Fucking cats.
I was driving and she jumped on me and I had to stop real quick and she like decided that she should put her back claw into my wrist. So now it looks like I have, issues.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I've got a scratch and it hurt. So Sam is basically, I bet there is like artwork for Sam in some Nazi Germany bunker somewhere. Like that's like
Probably.
Their Lassie is this Oscar.
It's like the Mona Lisa, but it's Hitler, and then right at the base of the picture is a cat.
Yes, but this cat, Richard, also has a portrait. It's titled Oscar the Bismarck's Cat, and it's in possession of the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich.
See, now I gotta see a picture of this cat. I get it.
Yeah, take it. I'll bring us home with this. So there's some controversy. So some authorities question whether Oscar Sam's biography might be a C story because, for example, there are pictures of 2 different cats identified as Sam. The sink of the Bismarck and the rescue of a limited number of survivors took place in desperate conditions. British troops were ordered not to stop as they were believed to be a U-boat in the area, and many survivors were left to die of exposure. There's no mention of the incident in Ludwig Kennedy's detailed account of the sinking, suggesting that information later gleaned from survivors regarding the cat's true services. So
see, I'm looking at pictures of this cat, and I'm saying there's evil in this cat's eyes.
No, it's got like dead, like, I know these were the 40s, and a lot of people were like, holy shit, what's that? It's a camera. Like, they had that like weird, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, so I'll do wide-eyed. But it's a cat. It shouldn't be thinking anything.
No,
it shouldn't. It is.
It's probably thinking like, oh shit, am I caught?
Oh yeah, it's like, oh god.
Do they know?
Has my cover been blown? I haven't got to fucking kill Benjamin
Have I been
yet.
Exposed?
It's like putting its hand over its tattoos, like trying to put its matting the fur down.
That's how it happens.
Well, Richard, this cat survived 3 ships, 2 British, 1 German. We're pretty sure that it probably had some kind of infiltration to the British government, obviously.
Yep. Obviously.
And we're still probably dealing with this to this day. Your cats could be lineages of the Unsinkable Simon.
Oh my god,
Unsinkable Sam.
It's fucking like it's sleeper cells.
Oh, what happens with this episode plays and you listen to it? And like right
and then the cats are like, "Oh my god, it's time."
The one perks up is like, "Oh, now we got to kill him." And the other one's like, "What was that?" Grilling. But
the
Richard,
time has come. Time for what? Time to kill. Kill what? God damn it! I'll do it myself.
You see your cat walking with a knife, a German knife.
See, now I'm looking over my shoulders because now I don't know.
Sleep tight tonight, Richard. So,
but I think the smart one. I think the smart one's outside. The stupid one's the only one in the house right now.
It's currently like laying in the bathtub.
Yeah, probably.
What's the weirdest thing that cat's done?
Let's see. Oh God, now I'm trying to think. There was one time it was on an open window, and then it fell out of said window.
Yeah.
And as it fell out of the window, and then as soon as it fell out of the window, it immediately tried to jump back into the window, but it couldn't jump high enough. And so it would just jump up the side of the building and then just do this like mad, like scratch, scratch.
Out. It didn't want to be outside.
It didn't want to be outside. And so then once it realized it couldn't jump back in through the window, then it just stayed exactly where it was and sounded like it was being murdered. Like it just stood on the ground next to the window. And okay, like this window isn't high up. Like this window is maybe like, 7 feet off the ground. It couldn't jump back in through the window from the outside. So instead what it did is it stood under the window, laid down, and then just until my oldest daughter ran outside to grab it.
Because it was scared. That's like, oh my God, I've heard stories about when that other cat goes out here and gets laid. I don't want to get laid. So you're saying it's blowing a rape whistle? That's basically, yeah. It's a cat's version of a rape whistle. And your family saved it, Richard. The other one, on the other hand, it's trying to reproduce and
then it's trying to make more Nazi cats that will eventually murder me.
But Richard, we learned a new tale about another cat that survived some sinking ships in World War II. So what do you have for some Richard's closing thoughts?
My cat story seemed nice and endearing about, a cat that was like killing mice and keeping morale up. This cat, I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. I feel like there's some shady business going on. So I think today we learned that most cats are probably evil. We also learned that it should be called the Queen's Cake, and that maybe when you're floating along on a boat and you see a cat on the boat, maybe you should just leave it be, because then it jumps on your boat and then you mysteriously sink into the ocean.
Yeah, I think. And we'll probably see with your story of your cats, but it's probably never trust a stray cat.
Yeah, That's true.
Because they're evil.
Oh my God, I hear one. I seriously hear one. There's one in here. There's one in here in the room with me right now. Wait.
Make sure you send me this audio before it kills you.
Never mind. It's the stupid one.
It's like, you rang.
Hey guys, what are you talking about me?
Oh
God, it's looking at me. It's looking directly at me.
You know what it's thinking? It's looking at you. It's like, oh, it's just the stupid one in here. Where's the rest of the family? Hey! All right. Well, before it gets the other one to gets in the house to take you out, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Visit our website. We're at languageofbromance.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at languageofbro. Email us at bros@languageofbromance.com. You can like us on Facebook and make sure you share our show on all the different social media platforms.
Do it.
And go out and grab some LB merchandise at the T Public store.
Yes.
Well, and
go ahead.
Also, Richard, we want to thank Wendy, Aaron, and Shane for their continued support on our Patreon account.
Oh, use good people. Use the best people.
All right, Richard. Was there anything else before I close her out?
No.
Are you safe right now?
I'm keeping an eye on the cat.
I see that. You look very nervous.
I am very nervous.
All right. Well, that's all the Bromance have for this show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
And remember, don't be a why.
Be a why not.
Why not?
This is how it happens.
Yep. Hey, why'd that cat jump on the counter?
No!